back to Grown Women Talk. I'm Kia.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Cheré.
We have a very special guest. In fact, I think it might be the first time we've had a man at our table. Tony Covington.
Yes, in the house.
Oh my goodness. Former NFL player Tony Covington. He was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Seattle Seahawks. He is currently a nonprofit executive. That is how I was able to meet him and Andre as well. So he is a friend of ours, but he is now an author, you all. And so we are so happy to have him with us. This is his book, I Am Underdog, A Journey of Adversity and Blessings. And so we are so happy to have him with him. While he's not the first man we've had on our show, he is the first one to sit and have a conversation with us around our table. And so, Tony, we welcome you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay! All right, and we're just so pleased to have your book. And we want to talk about and share this with you all today. And so, just to get a little bit into the book, Tony, we want to ask you a couple of questions to share with our friends about the book. And so, the first question that we have is that one of your themes in the book was about family. How has family impacted your life?
Tremendously. You know, three of my models or pillars are faith, family, and friendship. And family is extremely important. The way that my mother was an integral part of my growing up.
That was beautiful.
You know, as always, will always have that special place for me. And I saw what it was to be in a family. We used to do our family reunions, just the constant support and nurturing that my mom and dad gave me growing up. You know, even all the years of playing sports, it could be 90,000 people in a crowd, and we'd come out to warm up, and I'd look and say, okay, there's mom, there's dad.
Mom and dad, that's great.
Now I'm ready to play. And just knowing that I always had that support system, and they really taught me how to believe in me first and foremost. And so it was critical. It was critical for me.
Man, that's wonderful.
Wow,
That is wonderful.
And it is, you speak with such passion about it, and so we can appreciate that. And I think, Kia, I'd like to ask, you know, we talk a lot here about the reset. Everybody knows Kia's done her reset, Cheré's done her reset. And if you could talk to us about what being the underdog means and how hitting the reset has changed your life.
Well, for me, people say, well, Tony, how in the world are you an underdog? You went to a major university, you had an incredible career, you played in the NFL for 5 years, you've raised millions and millions of dollars for nonprofits over the last 18 and a half years. How are you considered an underdog? Well, people have doubted me and underestimated me my entire life. It was always, he's not big enough, he's not fast enough, he's not smart enough, he can't do this, it's not enough. I was never enough to other people. But we go back to that family piece and that always believe in self.
Yes.
That's how I was able to, you know, say, you know what, I'm going to take that on. I'm going to wear that underdog piece. And when I overcome you or whatever you think I can't do, just because you can't do it, I'll smile. But then I'll reach down and help you up as well. And so we all have underdog stories within us of how we've overcome something in our lives. We all have them. And us telling those stories can be very therapeutic for someone who is going through something, because a lot of times what happens is we think it's just happening to us. And when someone hears your story, they're like, wow, you know what? If she or he overcame it, I can do. You know, and so let me lace up those bootstraps, and the hardest part is taking the first step towards the finish line.
You know, there was a second part to my question, and part of that is, tell us a little bit about how you hit the reset after the NFL.
That's a good one.
That was
that's
a challenge.
Yeah.
That was a challenge because, you know, as I wasn't a young man that went to college thinking, hey, I'm going to go to the NFL and this is my end and be all. I was like, I'm going to the University of Virginia. I'm going to get this degree, and I'm going to get this good job when I'm done. Just so happens I had a wonderful career, got an opportunity to play in the NFL for 5 years, and when it was over, I'm like, you know what, I'm ready. I wanted to play some more, but I'm good. I had my nice degree, but I didn't have any work experience. I had networked. No one had taught me those critical life skills. And so it was like, okay, what do I do now? And so it was trying to find my way. I was like, you know what, real estate, I always wanted to do real estate. And I don't really like that. My first job was selling water treatment equipment on 100% commission. But I had to start somewhere.
Wow.
And
Yes.
so I learned how to sell. It was hard. It was hard. I got to come into your house and sell you a $5,000 piece of equipment that night and convince you that you cannot live without it. I got very good at doing just that.
Wow.
And so, I put money away for a rainy day during my career, but I didn't put enough money away for storms.
Oh.
So when those storms came,
Wow.
ooh, that boat was rocky because those big bills, they keep coming.
Yes.
Those bill collectors don't care that you're not playing in the NFL anymore. Well, what do you mean you don't make enough? You used to make enough? Well, yeah, I used to. That's not our problem. And so the struggle was real. Rolled my sleeves up because a brother has always held a job, whether it was the paper route,
Right, that's
whether
right.
it was the lawns in the neighborhood that I had to cut and rake.
Yeah.
Always bagging grocery. I'm one of the best athletes in the state of North Carolina. But I worked at Olin Mills, a telephone solicitor. I drove.
I remember Olin Mills.
I do too. That's a
Always
telephone
had it. So
solicitor.
the work ethic was always there.
Thank you. That's
And so
awesome.
it was, hey, if I gotta sell these water treatment equipment pieces, I gotta do it. Eventually got away from that, got into the nonprofit game, and that's where I found my passion because it's always been to help people.
Yeah.
And so, when you hit the reset and you look at it like, wow, how do I begin again? My faith helped a lot then, and I always contribute a great word of thank you to my friend Ricky Reynolds, who was one of my teammates.
Ricky Reynolds,
You
he talked
mentioned
about
him.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the godfather of the girls, because he said, Tony, your heart is in the right place. He was like, but you just got to get God leading your path. And so
Yeah.
that was my reset in the transition because I started doing God's work with the nonprofit piece.
Yeah.
And when you're doing God's work, make it a little bit easy to reset
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he got his
Yeah.
arms embraced around you. That hedge of protection is around you.
Yeah.
And we push forward. That doesn't say the road is not going to be rocky in the
Yeah.
midst of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, you got that hedge of protection. And so that was my reset in my
Nice,
transition.
nice.
That's
It just means
powerful.
did that feel like preaching?
Yes. And that's
Well,
powerful because we
it
talk
is.
about being our sister's keeper. And in that case, you had a brother who reached out to
There
you.
it
We
is.
can't be afraid of what they might think or what they
That's
might
right.
say if we
That's
just
right.
try to be helpful
Yeah.
to our sisters and our brothers. So that is really
Yeah.
powerful what you said right there.
Absolutely. And Tony, we're triple excited because 24% of our viewers are men.
Yes.
Very good.
Here
Very
we
They
go.
gonna be
good.
happy.
Very
Yes,
good.
yes.
Good job, gentlemen.
That's
Good
right.
job.
That's right. That's right.
So one of our questions is about fatherhood. That's another big theme for you. Explain or share with us what fatherhood means to you, how it keeps you focused. Just share anything that comes to mind.
Well, I always looked forward to being a father. And because I think when God puts us down as angels to take care of the ones that we are to bring and escort through this beautiful thing called life.
Wow. Wow.
And when I was blessed to become a father and hold my daughter for the first time, I never knew I could love like that. It changed me.
Wow.
And when I held Carter, baby number 2, it was
Wow.
the same thing. And so I felt assigned to be the guardian and protector of my daughters. And knowing I had the ultimate protector watching over us. And when
Wow.
I'm not there, I know that and trust that hedge will be around them because that's what he promised me that he would do when he assigned me as that guardian.
Yeah.
And so I think it's extremely important to be a part of their lives. Unfortunately, sometimes divorce changes and pushes us apart. So the girls live 2 hours away, but since they were 2 and 4, I made a decision. We were in Florida, divorced. My ex-wife wanted to move back to Philadelphia, where she's from, family support.
Yes.
I immediately left, got a job in DC, and since they were 2 and 4, it was every other week. They were here with me in DC when I was living in DC. Then I was fortunate to get a job in Philadelphia, so I was there for 3 years. Then moved back. Then we went back to our every other week. And so it is
Great.
being a
That's
part of their
intentional.
lives,
Yes.
consistent.
Intentional.
And when they get older, it's a little bit harder because they want to hang out with their friends.
Yeah.
They don't want to hang out with dad.
Right.
But you just have to force your way. And I'm blessed that my ex-wife is one of my best friends, and
That's great.
you know that is not the norm.
No.
And you know, my ex-wife, my current wife, have a great relationship. They have a trusting
We're
relationship.
gonna need another book on that.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
You really are.
And
Yeah.
so it makes for that family environment for them.
Yes.
They know that they can pick up the phone, they can call Erica, they know that they can call Daddy, they know that of course they can talk to their mother, and their mother and I talk consistently on, hey, here's what's going on with the girls.
Yeah.
Here's how we're trying to manage this.
Yeah.
And hey, talk to them, or if they're talking to me about something, well, Dad, Mom, I'm like, hey, this is what they told me. Okay, great. Handle it like this. Okay, cool. You know, so it is very much a tag team, you know, on the parenting.
Yeah.
And as that father, I don't want to be that hover, smother, that helicopter dad, but there's so much out there for them that's dangerous.
Yes.
You know, and they are exposed to so much more than we had to deal with. And as a father to daughters, I have to be present. I have to be visible.
Gosh.
Because I'm not going to trust some other man to give them the tools and give them the love that they're seeking from their father.
Yes.
Because
that's their first love.
That's it is.
They
That's
will
right.
be led astray. And so it begins with the simple things. It's opening the car door for them. It's us walking down the sidewalk, you on the inside. You know, paying for them to go to the movies. I mean, it's the little things.
Yeah.
And I'd say to them, pay attention to the little things that these little knuckleheads are going to say to you. And I said, Dad, well, you know, such and such said this. Okay, he said this, but this is what he meant.
Yes.
You know, but it's hard to get them to understand, you know what, Daddy and Mommy know what they're talking about. You know, because they have to go through it. Sometimes we have to allow them to fall and scrape their knees, because if you don't, they'll never realize that they can heal from it.
Yes.
And so we can't save them from everything. But the moral, all of it, is that you have to be in it. You have to want to be in it.
That's right. That's so
I mean, that is so powerful, and we'll have to bring you back to talk more about that. That's a passionate subject for us, I believe,
really
because you know, fatherhood is so important. And when you in your book talk about the sacrifices you made, there was no question for you that you could not stop, because you had these precious lives that were relying on you. But there's so many people who don't feel that burden, and so you know, it's so important that it is in this book. I mean, you know, it was wonderful. Another thing that impacted me when I was reading this is that you along the way were really able to get some fantastic friends, some wonderful friends, some angels, you know what I mean? And so can you tell us how friendship has impacted you? Female friends, male friends, you even had furry friends. How have your friends impacted you in your journey?
Yeah, you know, my fraternity motto is friendship is essential to the soul. And for me, I take that, and I'm extremely passionate about that, because we can't do it all alone. You know, we can try to be independent and do things, but there's nothing like true friendship. But I mean real friendship, not people that just come into your life and exit. You know, because mind you, every reason, season, lifetime, those things happen.
Yes.
You know, and it is definitely on a friendship side, it happens. And so I think about the guys that I grew up in the neighborhood with. True friends. We there and we going through the same stuff every day. We playing sports together. We joking each other about, oh, you got this on your report card, or you know. I mean, it was, you better do good in school because you feel they gonna clown you. You know. And so then going off to college, some of them went to the service. Some of them just went right into the workforce. And I remember my boy saying, man, you know, we would be got out of basic training and y'all would be playing on TV. And like, oh, that's my boy. And his friends be like, oh, no, y'all don't know him. Like, we grew up in the same neighborhood together. And so when they would tell me those stories, it meant so much to me, because like, man, I remember we used to tease you because your parents made you have that study hour when you got home. I wish my parents would have made me have that study hour. You know, and so it would be things like that. You go to college and then you create a different, you know, group of friends.
That's so true.
But then you think that, hey, these are gonna be friends like they were when I was growing up, and that is not always the case. You know, because they don't really know you, although you spend a lot of time. They're not the guys that you grew up with. with. And so, hey, was I burned by trusting that they were like my friends from home? Absolutely. And so, hey, I've made some missteps in judgment on friendship. You know, your people that I thought were friends, they were nothing but acquaintances. It was about what I could do for them, you know, not what they could do for me. And once again, enhance my life. And so as you begin to grow and realize and trust what friendship is, you have to make some purges periodically. Because when you purge, you really find out who people are. Yeah. You do. You know, and if they're not enhancing it, they can go they can go play in traffic.
Yeah.
Not playing traffic.
Oh my. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh, with my furry friends?
Talk about your
Yes,
furry
please
friends.
talk about your furry friends.
Yeah. There's nothing like the love of a dog. And Q Dog was, I remember bringing him home at 8 weeks old. And that little joker, for 13 years, that was my right-hand man. I mean, you talking about consistent.
I almost shed a tear when you had to put him down. I almost shed a tear.
I would
when you said you laid down next to him.
I would not wish that on anybody. You know, but because it was, no matter what I was going through, I walk in that door, my man was ready. That little nub. He just, you know, it was cute. He would come up, put there. I was like, "What's up, baby? What's going on?" His little purple dog collar. That was my dude. You know, and so when I had to put him down and just crying all the way home and walking in the house, and Kennedy was just a baby then. And then she heard me come through the garage and she looked and she smiled, and it was almost as if God said, "All right, I took him, but I replaced him." And I felt that, and it was almost like I felt Q saying, "Hey, time to let me go, big fella. We've been in this ride for a while. You good. I've seen you do it. Let me go on home and be with mom now." So he up there hanging out with mom.
I guess they all man's best friend.
Yes.
You know what? It's funny to hear the story and to watch your face. It is, and to read it. Yeah. It is. You like, you know what? Talk about the soul of a man.
Yes.
You know, talk about the soul of a man when they talk about their animals. So, yeah, I'm sorry, as Kid calls me a furry friend.
Yes.
So it's, you know, I like to we talk a lot on the show about fitness. Lots. We've done some fitness shows, and we talk about our own journeys, what that looks like. I know that you are an adamant fitness buff. You and I've had the pleasure of working out with Tony before.
I have not.
You've seen her work out. Check out the earlier videos. Yes. But if you could talk to us a little bit about telling us the role that fitness has played in your life, and even after the NFL, I know that there's certain rituals you do every year, and I've known that for the past 3 years. And if you could share with us how that's important and what that means in terms of sustaining you.
Well, it's important because I have daughters that at some point I'd love to be there to make sure that I'm walking them down the aisle, and I can be in the audiences that are receiving their high school diplomas and their college degrees and holding grandbabies, and I want to be there. If God has it for me to be there, I want to be there. So I want to do everything that I can to make sure that I'm sustaining. And I also got to keep these knuckleheads away from them too. So they got to at least see daddy in some shape. Right. You know, they see me and say, "Okay, that's your dad." Oh, right. Because I tell them, you know what? Y'all can be fast, but I can slow jog you all day long. So,
be afraid.
Be very afraid.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, it is important to make sure I'm getting my physicals every year, my prostate exam every year.
Yes.
Because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can control.
Yes.
The diet and nutrition fluctuates because I love my French fries. I love my wine and my cervezas, and I want to be able to do those things. So the sacrifice for me, fella, you're going to have to get up and get to the gym.
Yes.
You're going to hit the boxing classes, and the bag always wins. But get in there and do those type of things. And I spent a lot of time, you know, it was so crazy. I'm not built like a runner. I'm built for speed. And so I hated long distance running when I was playing. I became a long distance runner. So I started doing marathons, half marathons.
You're speaking her language.
Yeah,
now.
well, a lot of it was because of my job, my first nonprofit job. I helped put together a marathon training program for the American Stroke Association. So I got into it, and it became very cathartic for me.
Yes,
You know, it was it's as if when you go out and run, that's the time when God is talking to me,
my
and
gosh,
I actually
I love
listen.
that.
Even though
Yes.
I'm listening to music,
Yes.
I can lace my shoes up, and all this can be on my mind and my heart. I go get it in, and it's like I am free.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
needed
so true.
that.
Yeah.
And so as you get older, all the aches and pains, I can't run like I used to, so I just try to find other ways to do it. And then, you know, I started this pescatarian life. And I'm good with it. You know, each year, for the last 4 years, I start the year with a master cleanse, a 5-day master cleanse, and a 21-day Daniel's fast. And it's not to lose weight, but it's to cleanse my body, get a little more spiritual to start the year out, and so we can begin, start this thing off
Sounds
right.
possible.
And so,
It
you know,
is
it's just a sacrifice for the month. So this is probably the first glass of wine I've had for 2019. So appreciate y'all. But it's I enjoy it, you know, and then I can, you know, the wife appreciates it.
Yes,
you
I'm
got
sure.
to do things for the
I'm
wife.
sure, that's right.
You know, and so her and I are attacking the thing like, hey, we need to eat a little bit better. Let's try to move a little bit more away from the fried things. Let's do some different opportunities. We're going to do some cauliflower buffalo bites for the Super Bowl. Let's go, you know, all little things like that,
That's
because
good
we're
stuff.
not going to stop drinking wine.
No,
You know, but
no.
we're just going to do things in moderation so that we're both healthy. We're sustaining our bodies, and we're sustaining each other.
That's so awesome, Tony.
Yes.
You always encourage me, and we'll talk later off the set when, because I want to do a try, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, try. That's short term for triathlon. I believe. You know, they got to turn try.
She has such a bad attitude.
That did sound like a little hate, though.
Okay, I thought so.
But we're so glad that you came with us today to sit at the table and just talk about some of these important topics. There is so much more to come from Tony Covington.
Yes.
I really believe that you have just scratched the surface with this. There's so much more to come. And so we want you to tell the people, where can they find you? Where can they find more information from you? Where can they buy your book?
Yes, TonyLCovington.com. Please go check out the site. There's apparel there. We have hoodies. We have t-shirts. The hats are on the way, so they should be there momentarily.
Yes.
Very excited about that. And there will be more apparel and paraphernalia as we move forward. TonyLCovington.com. It'll direct you to Amazon to be able to get the book. One thing that you'll also notice is the Underdog Pledge there. The Underdog Pledge is, I am underdog because today is the beginning of the rest of my life. I will not allow my past to be an impediment to my moving forward, but I will use it as a stepping stone to a brighter future. I am underdog because I believe in me, and even in my darkest hour, I know that I am never alone. I will overcome because I know that I can, and if I were you, I wouldn't bet against me. I'm a winner, I'm a survivor, I am underdog. So we want you to take hold of that pledge, and because that is the movement of I Am Underdog that's coming forward.
The movement.
It is a movement. It is coming alive, and be on the lookout. It's coming to a theater real soon.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. You all. Wasn't it wonderful today?
Yes.
Thank you again, Tony, for coming to be
Thank
with
you.
us today. You want to hear more information like this. You want to join our party. Come on, you all. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you can visit with us and you can meet some more special, fantastic people. So until next time, as we like to say, get ready,
reset,
and go.
Bye.
Bye, friends.